Tonight, breaking news. The FAA takes action to slow flights in and out of Newark Airport, disrupting traffic yet again at one of the busiest hubs in the Northeast. Hamas says it will free the last American hostage still believed to be alive in Gaza. And the White House claims it has made substantial progress in trade talks with China. First, for the fourth time in just 2 weeks, technical issues have disrupted operations at Newark Airport. The FAA ordering a 45-minute ground stop. What we know about what was behind the move, what the head of United, whose airline uses Newark as a hub, is saying tonight. Hamas says it will release 21-year-old Edan Alexander, a New Jersey native and dual Israeli-American citizen, abducted in the October 7th attacks. What we are just learning. The high-stakes trade talks between the U.S. and China, the agreement the Trump administration says it has reached after 2 days of marathon meetings, and a look at President Trump's new floating palace in the sky, a gift sources say is from Qatar's royal family. Selena Wang from the White House. Pope Leo on the world stage, his message of peace, calling for an end to the wars in Gaza and Ukraine, as Presidents Putin and Linsey are set to meet. James Longman from Vatican City. Here at home, a deadly collision between a packed bus and an SUV forces the closure of a freeway near Los Angeles. At least one person is dead, dozens more hurt, some critically. What authorities are saying. The new CDC investigation concerning a Listeria outbreak tied to ready-to-eat foods. An emotional plea from a Houston Astros all-star and the death threats he received after struggling on the mound. The new rule about so-called junk fees for concert tickets and lodging that goes into effect tomorrow. What you should know. And America Strong on this Mother's Day, celebrating the women in our lives who make it all happen, including one of our own.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight.
Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us on this busy Sunday. I'm Rachel Scott in for Linsey Davis. We will have more on that news from Hamas, claiming that it will release the last living American hostage. But we do begin tonight with the latest problems for travelers at one of the nation's busiest airports. Another technical issue at Newark Airport today, forcing a 45-minute ground stop, leading to more delays and cancellations. Officials say the problem was not an outage, but an equipment failure impacting communications between air traffic controllers and planes in the air. This is the fourth incident in just 2 weeks at Newark, which has been plagued by shortages and technical issues. Just this past Friday, radar screens went black for 90 seconds, leaving air traffic controllers with no way of seeing where the planes were. Here's ABC's Ika Jachi.
Tonight, a continued dose of disruptions at Newark Liberty International Airport after yet another air traffic control equipment failure, the fourth in the last 2 weeks. The issue was discovered at the Philadelphia TRACON facility, which guides aircraft in the airspace around Newark International. The FAA temporarily reducing takeoffs and landings while backup systems were used. During that time, the agency issued a ground stop for about 45 minutes.
Newark's one of the busiest airports, but it's probably also becoming, I would say, one of the worst.
The agency says there was no outage, but a telecommunications problem, with reports of popping sounds on some frequencies. By late morning, operations resumed. This is the latest in a series of technical failures at Newark. On Friday, a radar and radio outage at the same facility left air traffic controllers unable to communicate with planes for 90 seconds. A similar incident occurring on April 28th, prompting trauma leave for several staff and the cancellation of over 1,000 flights in recent weeks. The breakdowns from computers that still use floppy disks to upload data, combined with ongoing construction on its busiest runway and a shortage of air traffic controllers, making delays and cancellations a daily reality. To limit more disruptions, the FAA is set to meet with airlines operating at Newark to discuss potential flight reductions.
The fact that people are putting their heads together to find solutions to problems while the bigger solution of fixing the ATC infrastructure is being implemented, we applaud them for doing that.
United, which uses Newark as one of its main hubs, has already halted at least 35 daily round-trip flights. Tonight, its CEO saying the airport is safe.
It's absolutely 100% safe, but it is disruptive to customers, and that's why I'm so glad of the actions that the FAA has taken.
While touting the safety record, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy saying what needs to be fixed right now is decades-old equipment, and not just in Newark.
I'm concerned about the whole airspace, right? The equipment that we use, much of it we can't buy parts for new. We have to go on eBay and buy parts if one part goes down.
And Rachel, back at Newark, those proposed changes to the air traffic control system and vital communications can't come soon enough as those travel disruptions continue. Rachel?
Lots of passengers waiting for those changes. All right, Ike, thank you. We turn now to that other breaking news and that announcement from Hamas just before we came on the air saying it would release American hostage Edan Alexander. Alexander volunteered to serve in the Israeli army. He was abducted from his base on the first day of the war on October 7th. ABC's Jay O'Brien has been watching the developments from Washington. Jay, what more are we learning?
Yeah, Rachel, a seismic development tonight. Hamas saying it plans to release Edan Alexander, a dual U.S. Israeli citizen who grew up in New Jersey and the last known living American hostage from the October 7th attack. Hamas saying it's making the move in hopes of securing a ceasefire deal. And tonight, the Israeli Prime Minister's office saying the U.S. informed them of this potential release and saying they were told that there were no other conditions agreed to here. Now, the last time we saw Alexander was in an undated Hamas propaganda video released in April. A soldier taken when he was 19 years old. Alexander had his 20th and 21st birthdays in captivity. Hamas initially said that they were going to release him in March, but that never materialized. And Rachel, all of this comes right before President Trump's planned Middle East trip. An Israeli official telling ABC News recently that if a ceasefire and hostage deal is not struck by the end of that trip, that another military offensive will begin in Gaza. Rachel.
All eyes on those talks. Jay, thank you. We turn now to the high-stakes negotiations between the U.S. and China. After 2 days of marathon talks, the White House is indicating a trade deal is at least close. What China is saying tonight, and will both sides reduce their tariffs? Here's ABC senior White House correspondent Selena Wang.
Tonight, after high-stakes negotiations in Geneva, the White House saying they've reached a trade deal with China, but so far offering no details and not saying if either country has agreed to lower their steep tariffs.
It's important to understand how quickly we were able to come to agreement, which reflects that perhaps the differences were not so large as maybe thought.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent stopping short of touting a full deal, saying substantial progress has been made.
We will be giving details tomorrow, but I can tell you that the talks were productive.
And Beijing not calling this a done deal, also saying the two sides made substantial progress and have agreed to continue trade talks, but the details still need to be finalized. Just days ago, the president suggested he'd be open to lowering his 145% tariffs on Chinese imports, writing on social media, 80% tariff on China seems right. And it all comes as President Trump is set to head to the Middle East tomorrow for the first major foreign trip of his second term, stopping in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE. The region has played a critical role in mediating conflicts around the world, including the war in Ukraine. Sources tell ABC News the Trump administration is preparing to accept this super luxury jumbo jet known as the Floating Palace from the royal family of Qatar. The president touring the plane in February while it was parked here at the West Palm International Airport. Trump can use the gift as a new Air Force One during his presidency, then it will be transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation, the sources say. The unprecedented arrangement raises questions about whether it's legal for the administration to accept such a valuable gift from a foreign power. The sources say both the White House and Justice Department have concluded that because the gift is not conditioned on any official act, it does not constitute bribery.
And back to those negotiations with China, we have no details from the White House about what this trade deal with China looks like, but officials say there will be a full briefing tomorrow. As of now, those 145% tariffs on Chinese goods are in effect, but administration sources tell us this appears to be a significant step towards lowering those tariffs. Rachel?
And appears to be a change in tone for both sides. All right, Selena Wang, thank you. We turn now to the Vatican. Pope Leo making his first Sunday address from the balcony overlooking St. Peter's Square. An estimated 100,000 people gathered. The Pope calling for an end to all wars and also calling for the fighting to stop in Gaza and Ukraine. ABC's chief international correspondent James Longman from Vatican City tonight.
For the first American Pope, every day is history-making. And today, Leo XIV did it again with his first major public address, speaking before an estimated 100,000 people gathered in St. Peter's Square for his first Sunday blessing.
Mai più la guerra.
His words in Italian, no more war, greeted with huge applause. He called for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and a just peace in Ukraine.
Buona festa.
Leo with a special message for mothers, wishing all of them, including those in heaven, a happy Mother's Day. In that crowd, we met 3 Americans, Dominic and Taylor from New Mexico and Philip from Chicago.
Did you ever imagine you'd have a Chicagoan in the Vatican?
Never. I was very pleasantly surprised when they picked him.
The former Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost would not have been made Pope without his experiences abroad. He served as Bishop of Chiclayo, Peru, from 2015 to 2023. Several thousand attending a special Saturday night mass there in his honor. Folk dancing and fireworks outside the cathedral. Leo is their Pope too. Our Matt Rivers is there.
So it's not every day that you have a church service outside, and it's certainly not every day that you get applause during a church service. But then again, it's not every day that the guy who used to be bishop here is now their Pope.
Back in the US,
we have a new Pope, and he's from Chicago.
Another Leo celebration. The congregation at Chicago's Holy Name Cathedral applauding the news at Sunday Mass. And Rachel, tomorrow Leo will speak to the international media for the first time, and then he'll have a week to continue getting used to his new office before Sunday and his installation Mass, where he'll meet with world leaders for the first time as Pope. Rachel.
All right, James, thank you. Now to the war in Ukraine. President Zelensky tonight echoing calls for a ceasefire, saying Ukraine will attend negotiations proposed by Russia later this week. And now Zelensky challenging Russian President Vladimir Putin to show up too. Here's ABC's Lama Hassan.
For the first time in 3 years, tonight Russian President Vladimir Putin offering to come back to the negotiating table. During a late-night press conference, Putin calling to hold direct talks with Ukraine next Thursday in Istanbul. President Putin seemingly ignoring the 30-day unconditional ceasefire deal brokered by EU leaders and the US. Despite the leaders from the UK, France, Germany and Poland, as well as President Trump putting pressure on Putin, threatening to impose massive sanctions if he didn't agree. Putin responding on his own terms, saying Russia is seeking serious negotiations aimed at moving towards a lasting and strong peace, but not ruling out that talks could result in a new truce. President Trump posting on Truth Social, urging Ukraine to, quote, have the meeting now. In Russia, Putin's spokesperson Dmitry Peskov telling ABC's Martha Raddatz they want to negotiate without preconditions.
This is what he was proposing for the last couple of weeks. He keeps saying that we are ready for negotiations, for direct negotiations.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky calling Putin's proposal a positive sign that Russia wants to end the war, saying late today he will be waiting for Putin in Turkey personally. Rachel, President Zelensky's office confirming to ABC News that he will be traveling to Istanbul next week for these direct talks with Russia. But the question is, will President Putin show up? Rachel?
That is the question. All right, Lama, thank you. Investigators in Southern California are on the scene of a fiery bus crash that killed at least one person on a freeway. Authorities say a bus with dozens of people on board slammed into a disabled SUV that was blocking a lane. The SUV bursting into flames, trapping one person inside. Dozens of people were hurt. The latest now from ABC's Melissa Edan.
Tonight, one person is dead and more than 30 injured after a tour bus collided with an SUV on a Los Angeles area freeway.
We have a 2-vehicle CC, 1 vehicle fully involved.
The California Highway Patrol says it appears that SUV became disabled and was blocking a lane on the 60 freeway when the tour bus struck it. The call coming in just after 5 a.m.
When we arrived on scene, the SUV was fully engulfed in flames.
One person trapped inside the SUV did not survive. A bus passenger named Joe describes being jolted awake by the crash.
I was thrown from the back seat. People were begging for mercy.
More than 60 people were on board the bus, 32 taken to the hospital, 2 in critical condition, most of the other injuries minor. Rachel, the 60 freeway is now back open, and the CHP is investigating what led up to this collision. They say that alcohol and drugs do not appear to be a factor. Rachel?
Melissa, thank you. Tonight, the Houston police and Major League Baseball are investigating death threats made against Astros pitcher Lance McCullers Jr. Those threats coming after he allowed 7 runs in the first inning. This was just his second start since the 2022 World Series after battling a series of injuries. Here's ABC's Alex Brachet.
In what was supposed to be a triumphant return to Major League Baseball, tonight, Houston Astros pitcher Lance McCullers is instead making a plea for his family's safety.
Threatening to, find them, or next time they see us in public, they're going to stab my kids to death. Things like that is tough to hear.
Visibly shaken, McCullers says his 2 young daughters received online death threats after he allowed 7 runs in the first inning of the game against Cincinnati Saturday night.
He has not faced any of the Reds in their lineup today.
McCullers was making just his second start since the 2022 World Series. McCullers is a former All-Star and has spent 8 seasons with Houston, including during both of their World Series titles. Arm issues have sidelined him the last 2.5 years. McCullers' coach incensed.
After all he's done for this city, for this team, the fact that we have to talk about that in my office, I got kids too, and it really drives me nuts that we have to deal with this.
Rachel, the Reds went on to win that game 13-9. Now, Major League Baseball is looking into these threats. A team spokesperson says that they've notified Houston police and MLB security. Rachel?
Alex, thank you. And still ahead here on World News Tonight, a Listeria outbreak from ready-to-eat sandwiches and snacks, plus the big change coming when you book a hotel room or buy a ticket for an event. Next tonight, at least 4 people have died from a 5-alarm fire at a Milwaukee apartment building. The fire department saying dozens more are hurt, 4 of them in critical condition. No one who lives at the 85-unit building can return home tonight. The cause still under investigation. Officials say there was no working sprinkler system. Overseas now in a bus crash in Sri Lanka, killing at least 21. The bus skidding off a cliff in the early morning, at least 35 others sent to the hospital, including the driver. The cause of the crash still under investigation. And when we come back, what you need to know about the so-called junk fees rule when you buy event tickets or book a hotel room. To the index now, the CDC is investigating an ongoing Listeria outbreak tied to ready-to-eat foods. At least 10 people hospitalized. The company Fresh and Ready Foods voluntarily recalling some sandwiches and snacks. They were sold in 4 Western states. The products have a use-by date ranging from April 22nd to May 19th. And a new federal rule about pricing for tickets and lodging going into effect tomorrow. The so-called junk fees rule from the Federal Trade Commission is meant to eliminate hidden charges. That means when buying tickets for events, including concerts or reserving a hotel room or vacation rental, fees have to be disclosed before heading to the checkout screen. When we come back, America's Strong, celebrating mothers. And finally tonight, America's Strong. We're celebrating our super moms that set the bar high, including one familiar face.
Tonight on this Mother's Day, we're celebrating our fearless moms. At Grand Valley State University near Grand Rapids, Michigan, one mother and son marking a huge milestone together. Senior Sam Cooper sharing his graduation with his mom, Christy. And it wasn't Christy's first time. She just earned her 4th degree. But it's her joy in sharing the moment with her son that makes this milestone that much more special.
I was choked up for sure. And then I hear, the commencement song, the march. I was like, just teary-eyed, but so happy for him.
We're also celebrating a milestone for one of our very own. For years, Linsey Davis has been chasing a personal dream, lacing up to run a half marathon in all 50 states. Linsey's passion for running is no secret, beaming with pride at every finish line. Her husband, Paul, didn't hesitate to join her on this journey, which was fitting. Linsey credits their shared passion for kickstarting their relationship. It started with the half marathon in California in 2012, then Florida, fast forward to number 49, Missouri, and to close it out, number 50 in Hawaii.
Best for last, Hawaii, aloha from Maui.
Linsey's family waiting at the finish line, including her mom, Beverly. Beverly works out with Linsey too. These moms giving us all a little more motivation to chase our dreams in that special way that only moms can do.
Thanks so much for watching and happy Mother's Day. I'm Rachel Scott in New York. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.